You might not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like. The curves, the mewing jaw, and the complete lack of ability to breathe normally. Oh yeah. I actually really like the Galar fossils. They're goofy in a very fun way. Very specifically for Dracovish and Octozolt though. But I'm here to answer a truly baffling question. What would happen if other fossil Pokemon were able to combine like the Galarian fossils? The answer? Complete abominations. Alright, get your fossil combiners together and a complete disregard for the ethics of paleontology, because we are making some failed fossil fusions. Comment down below what fossil combos you'd create, if you could. Oh man, what if you could combine any Pokemon like this? Not fusions, just like abominations. So I just fell onto the Pokemon randomizer here till I got two different fossil mons to combine together. And first I got Cradily and Rampardos. So let's create a horrid monster. I love Cradily, a weird favourite fossil of mine, so I wanted to use the best part of it, the head, with Rampardos' body, allowing it to become a bit more mobile. I have a very weird obsession with how the Galar fossils have these sort of family-friendly cross-sections to them, where the Zolt awkwardly sticks out, so I use it quite a few times in the designs here. I like the idea of maybe the DNA combines a bit more of how Zolt gets the blue cheekies instead of red, so I found fossils here gets Cradily's eyes, but with Rampardos' pupils as well as the spikes emerging from its head, instead of the very unfortunate shape and coloured tendrils everywhere. But fear not, fans of tendrils, for now their arms are such horrible bits. Ugh. Because these are like the Galarian fossils typing, it would be hard seeing as Rampardos is pure rock type. I don't know why I also thought it was rock steel, so sadly this fossil just keeps Cradely's typing. Nice one, Rampardos, letting the whole team down. Rampardilly, the fossil Pokemon, a rock and grass type. Rampardilly had strong, muscular legs capable of keeping it upright no matter what attacks it endured. Its long tendrils could extend to capture prey. Due to their ability to breathe both air and water, they spent much of their time hunting washed-up prey on beaches, stalking them if they returned to the sea. Rampardilly went extinct due to its relatively weak neck muscles, which required it to stay in water, as prolonged periods on land would tire its neck muscles too much. Rampardilly have the abilities Storm Drain and Sheer Force. Next was one I really didn't expect in Aurorus, which is a good start, and Omastar. And I can say right now this one is interesting. Aurorus is such a banger design, I wish it wasn't crappy with typing as the monkey paw curls. I needed it to suffer in other ways, so I thought what if we started to lean towards Hisui and Goodra in design, being this kind of depressed, heavy-shelled being. And I can now sort of see Hisui and Goodra as almost some kind of fusion of these two anyway. But I wanted more suffering, and seeing as Omastar doesn't have legs, just more tendrils, I thought why not give it the ability to just be a snail? Like straight up just having to slug it across the ground in a depressing look. Somehow because of the Aurorus part though, it does come out rather nice looking, at least at the front part of the body. I decided to also remove any aspect of the ice rock parts here to show the rock types getting booted out. I can kind of imagine the fossil reviver getting like the front part of an Aurorus and the shell of Omastar and just like jamming the Aurorus bone into the shell and being like, yep, that's it. Aurorastar, the fossil Pokemon, an ice and water type. Aurorastar lived in cold waters where it clung to the underside of ice sheets and grabbed foes above when they least expected it. It had prehensile tendrils on the back of its body, which it used to grip and drag prey, as well as to pull itself along the seafloor. Despite its large shell, it could not retreat into it. Aurorastar went extinct due to rising water temperatures in its habitat, as well as the added weight of its shell, which hindered its speed. Aurorastar have the abilities Refrigerate and Shell Armor. This freak show is just getting started as I got Cranidos and Aerodactyl. I didn't feel very happy with the combo at first, as it would end up just being Cranidos' head on Aerodactyl's body, but I thought I could take some liberties with it. Seeing as Arctivish has this sort of weird upside down head that I'm convinced was the fossil creator, seeing that front part and thinking it was the mouth there. I wanted to make it so that Cranidos' head was seen upside down to almost look like the connection between the chrome dome and the head was a jagged mouth. You can kind of see it, right? And so you get this awkward looking combo where the head is just a tad too small. Heck, it even has some of the Cranidos body there still, but with the awkward cross-section attachment. Worst thing about this is it's not even the most cursed looking fusion I've done. Those are the next two to come. Again, the sad reality is that Cranidos having just pure rock type means it stays rock flying. These guys just keep letting me down. Or is that the randomizer's fault? Who knows. Cranidactyl, the fossil Pokemon, a rock and flying type. Cranidactyl are quite curious Pokemon. Their flying speeds are blinding, making it easy for them to catch prey, if they were not strictly herbivores. The position of their mouth makes it easier for them to eat foliage from the ground rather than in flight. The strange upside down head they have baffles scientists, as it provides almost no benefit. During flight, it seems to hinder the Pokemon, resulting in only short flight times. This may have been the reason for their extinction. Cranidactyl have the abilities Rock Head and Sheer Force. Next we got Archen and Tyrantrum. Yep, this one is both horrifying and great at the same time. Dracozolt was a direct inspo here, looking like Squidward after all those Krabby Patties. How they messed this one up I don't know, but now it's the tiny body of Archen stuck directly onto the angry and stumpy lower half of a Tyrantrum. I didn't want to do cross-section here and instead opted for a sort of large red feather plumage that is a bit reminiscent of Tyrantrum's actual neck ruffle, but also it hilariously looks like Archen is bursting out of the Tyrantrum's body in a spray of liquid. It's quite confronting and a bit kind of like alien, but damn if it isn't funny. I guess this thing would be flying dragon type, but I have no idea how this thing would be able to fly. Maybe it just has such powerful legs that it just leaps high into the air as if it's flying like an Anjanath. I don't know, it's kinda cute, I'd use it in a game. Tyrantrum, the fossil Pokemon, a dragon and flying type. Tyrantrum had massive lower bodies that were incredibly hardy. They lived in harsh environments, stomping around, and any Pokemon crushed underneath would simply become a snack for them. Their arms were small and they had underdeveloped wings. With the weight of their lower half, it would have been impossible for them to fly, although they still flapped their wings and jumped about. Their extinction may have resulted from attempts to fly by jumping off large cliffs in droves. Tyrantrum have the abilities Rock Head and Defeatus. I will not be forgiven for my sins, as now I have Anorith and Archeops. Oh boy. Archeops is a goat Pokemon with a crummy ability, but now it becomes just the worst thing imaginable. Our fossil fusioner saw this half body and thought that the tail was actually some sort of neck, kind of attached to this curious, exoskeletal-like head. I mean, maybe, who knows with this freak, she made the Galarian fossils for God's sake. I actually feel like I cooked with this one in the worst way possible. It's oddly cute, but also has the nasty side effect of looking like Anorith is this parasitic worm that's emerging from a half corpse of Archeops. Especially with the cross-section there, it's like taking Dracovish and pumping up the body horror energy to 11. But I still can't help but find it oddly endearing. Maybe it's the big eyes of Anorith staring into my soul. I just want to take care of its miserable existence in any way I can. Again, it'd have flying type too, but how does it fly? I don't know, I was just hoping you could answer that for me. Aerodactyl, the fossil Pokemon, a bug and flying type. Aerodactyls had tremendous running speeds thanks to their strong legs. These legs were so powerful that they allowed them to leap great distances, so far in fact that it looked as though they were flying. Their necks were long enough to keep them hanging out of bushes, making them appear as a more feeble Pokemon, only to lash out and grab prey with their two sharp claws, devouring it instantly. Aerodactyl is thought to have gone extinct due to their top half being unable to survive in the colder environments that eventually emerged. Aerodactyls have the ability Swift Swim and Defeatist. Okay, this final one wasn't randomized, I did it entirely for fun based off this dumb idea I had, and I love it. So the combo is Tyrantrum and Tirtouga, and all I can say is that this thing's horrible existence had to have come by accident when two fossils must have fell into the machine. A giant skull and a tiny small baby shell, and the resulting combination is this poor creature that, unless underwater, cannot keep its own head up. Tirtouga don't got the muscles to lug that massive head up, and every time I think about it I laugh. I wanted to give it this expression of awe, maybe like a mindless puppy with a lolling tongue that makes it look so adorable and dumb at the same time. It has dog energy, it's wild. I'm just gonna apologize right now for this and all the rest of the video because holy moly are these some of the most cursed Pokemon I have made. And I made a Lucario Bluey form, that's how sorry I am right now. Tirtouga, the fossil Pokemon, a dragon and water type. Tirtouga lived in ancient waters where they used their gigantic heads to cleave prey in two. The strength of their jaws was powerful enough to crush rock and hard shells as if they were nothing. Although they were capable of breathing air, they lacked the neck strength to hold their heads up on land, which meant that Tirtouga washed up on shore were doomed. Tirtouga clearly went extinct due to their heavy heads. As water levels began to lower, many were left stranded on shore and unable to move. Tirtouga have the ability strong jaw and sturdy. So let this be a lesson to you all. Don't go giving your random half fossils to a lady with a weird machine out in the middle of nowhere, unless you are committed to caring for these freaks. Again, I apologize for any trauma I've contributed to. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below your thoughts on the video. And if you want to see more failed fossil fusions like this, or even just normal Pokemon fossil fusion things like this, I'm crazy, I'll do it.